Boys and girls, moms and dads, welcome to Pin, the Volleyball Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Tolman. To my immediate right is our guest. We'll get to her in a second. To my far right is Danger Will Robinson, as always. And our producer over there behind the computer screen, Chris Maggs. We're ready to get this show rolling.
Do you know what you're doing here, Anna?
Anna.
This is the high five part.
Yeah, ready? I'm ready.
Okay,
it's right now?
It's just one
I
hand.
did ask.
It's just one hand.
Oh.
We got
don't
Anna.
do this thing
we
anymore?
got,
do that.
We'll intro. We got Anna Morse, and we're talking about love and happiness. There it was. It was pretty good.
How is that, Chris?
How does that sound?
Pretty good. If you're just listening, you miss the gloriousness of the high five. I don't know. It happened organically, and now it's sort of weird.
Because we force it.
Yeah. It's okay. I am super excited for our episode today. I love having guests, mostly because Will has to sit a little further away from me.
Well, I'm the one that freaking gets the guests, so.
That's not true.
All
we
right, my
both
bad.
do it, okay? And
He asked me first.
I asked Anna
honest.
first. You just solidified it.
I closed the deal.
You're a closer,
I'm a
okay?
closer.
Everybody needs a closer. That's good. So Anna Morse is with us today, and for those of you who don't know Anna, she is an incredible young woman with an incredible past in the volleyball world. If she chooses it, an incredible future in the volleyball world, and certainly an awesome present in the volleyball world. We've known Anna since she was little, and she's not little anymore. She's grown up, and she has a wealth of experience that she's going to share with us today. So we're excited to have Anna Morse with us. And all right, let's get it going. Chris, you got some trivia for us over
Chris
there?
has been so excited
I know.
about
so
this.
excited. Here it is, guys. Chris's show trivia of the show.
Sponsored by.
What are we sponsored by today? Starbucks. Anna's got her Starbucks on the
We are
table.
sponsored by Starbucks.
Starbucks today.
So until we,
Unofficially.
until you guys,
Sorry if we broke some law right there, Starbucks.
I feel like it's a win-win for them. I feel like they would not.
They're
They-
like,
right?
they
Like,
don't care.
maybe.
Yeah. All right.
until we get the cease and desist.
Like, stop talking about us.
Remove this episode from
All right, so
YouTube.
this is a game. I'm actually in a group chat with Will and a couple bros called the Wordle Bros. And
Every day.
Thank goodness I am not in
there's
that
a
group
reason
chat.
you're not in it, dude.
Holy cow.
There is a reason.
We share our Wordle results, and
Okay.
if you've ever played Wordle, it's run by New York Times. There is a
Sounds miserable.
there's a game also called Connections where it makes you feel so smart at times, but also makes you
So
feel
dumb.
Anna, do you
Right.
Wordle?
So I've done it before, but my family literally made a separate group chat because I don't contribute enough. So
What about
like,
connect? But do you know
they
what
send it
connections
every
is?
day.
Do you know what connections is?
It's like groups of words or
Correct.
something,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
Right.
you're supposed to figure out what's common or
Oh,
something
that sounds
like
exciting.
That.
I actually
Yeah,
might
yeah,
enjoy that.
Yeah.
That one's fun.
And Connections is pretty cool. So this is called Connections, kind of.
Okay,
I don't want to
volleyball.
use it today.
Connections with a
Connections-ish.
Z.
Connections-ish.
connecting items.
Okay.
All right, so the rule is I'm going to give you guys four or
no.
a couple clues, and you have to come up with a category of how they are all related. So here, and you want to be as specific as you can possibly be.
And do we
Okay.
just speak?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're just going for it.
We're just going for it. So I have a few here, but I'm going to pick a few.
Because last time I spoke and then you said, yeah, that's correct. And I'm like, oh, Chris, no.
I mean, I can say Chris.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, all right.
or you can chime in with your name. I don't know. It's still a work in progress.
All right, cool. I like
All right,
this.
so this is just an example, right? So to be as specific as possible, if I give you the clues, Iron Man, Captain America,
Marvel.
Black Panther, and Spider-Man.
Marvel.
Okay,
Aspire
but how-
teams.
Aspire One's teams.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Boys.
Avengers, who are also Aspire team names.
Okay, so that's how specific we get.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Okay.
As much as you
as
can narrow
much
it
as
down.
you
Okay.
can narrow it
I
down.
bet.
All right. So here is the first one. Are you ready for this?
I'm kind of nervous.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
know
re-
why.
I'm not
I
ready
am
at all.
too.
Okay.
Our intelligence is
All
going
right.
to be questioned here.
This is hopefully pretty easy.
Okay.
Here you go. First one. Salt Lake City, Austin, Atlanta, and Houston.
Those are
All
all
teams
Those are
with
all cities that have a
LLVD.
professional love team
That's
coming.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Boom! Look at that.
Nice job.
Nice.
League One
I told you it
volleyball.
was easy.
Yep.
All right.
Shout out to LOVB, League One Volleyball. Little
right.
love action on our love day.
We'll do two more here. Two more.
All right, Chris, what do you got?
All right.
Should we let Anna answer one of
forgot
these?
the first one as soon as he said
I have one specifically
No, it's okay. Everyone
tailored
keep
to
going.
Anna.
Oh, this is
God.
good.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, but it's not going to be this one because
That's too obvious.
All right. Yeah, too obvious because I already said it. All right, here we go. Clues are Tony Mianes, Kevin Powell, Sharon Vanis, and Karen Gray.
Aspire coaches who have been there for more than.
All have coached 6A volleyball.
Ooh,
Be honest.
Head coach of
that's a
6A
good one.
volleyball.
Aspire coaches
Close.
and high school coaches.
Close.
Closer.
Who was close?
So Aspire coaches is one, but they all.
It's something else.
They've all coached high school.
Aspire head coaches and
Chris-
that
but
have
high school
also
head
coached in a
coaches.
state championship.
Kevin's
That
never.
is very close, Anna.
So runner up.
Who are
Oh, they're all runners up.
current Aspire coaches who are state runners up.
Okay.
You just made it to the state championship.
Okay. Vanis to
It's a
Vanis.
good one, right?
Okay, but to Vanis's credit,
She's won one.
she's also won.
Yeah.
Won more than one. She's won more than one.
One of those was my team.
Oh, I'm so glad because I could have been on that list if I would have lost ALA Queen Creek. Dude, that's
right.
scary.
You know what's funny?
You,
Never. I'm not on that list. You want to know why?
Why?
When we make it to the finals, we win.
or you get reverse swept in the semis.
Okay, but that's irrelevant. We at least made it 3 times and won 3 times.
Damn.
How about you?
Okay.
been one for one. I'm Michael Jordan.
As an assistant,
Still
does it
on
count?
Eh.
1 for 1.
Well, if we count assistants, I got a couple at Desert Vista with Molly West as the
You
head
do.
coach.
That was a good one.
But I'm not
That
counting.
was a little bit of a
Hey,
funny.
I got one more.
Wait, can I count?
Oh, yeah.
Do you count my assistant coaching as? So those are head coaches who are state runners.
Yes,
Because
that is
that
head
is the
coaches.
qualification.
Fred
Because according to my research, I cannot find lists
of assistants. Yeah, you'd have to dive.
Fred,
That's a big
That's a dive.
Fred Man at Perry has made me a runner up a couple of times,
Nice.
but I'm just on the bench.
As you sit at the end of the bench,
Just clapping, high fiving. Yeah.
come on, girls.
Yeah, we can do it. Play better.
All right, next one.
I know.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
this is the tailor to.
I feel like it is.
Piper Manross,
Okay.
Avery Luoma,
This is easy.
Gabby Leo, and Chapin Gray.
Chapin.
Chapin.
We're gonna go
Chapin.
Chapin
Chapin.
Gray.
Chapin, that's good.
My former Mountain Point teammates. When we
Who?
Our state runner up,
were all
That
state
and
runner
al-
up.
And
Yeah.
also
coached by Karen Gray.
no
That's also
Went to
true,
college?
but are all
went to
Division
co-
1?
Division One.
Division
Yeah,
One volleyball
athletes.
players.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Good for all of you. And
wow.
you guys were runner up. How many? Five Division One
Runner-up.
athletes, and you guys were runner up.
We were a young team.
One side had Brooke Nunaviller.
Brooks good. She's
And
a
my
winner.
sister.
And your sister. You lost to your sister. That's
did.
miserable.
Miserable.
All right, and then here's a bonus one. Here's a bonus one.
Oh my gosh.
Bonus one.
Oh, losing.
Park University,
Okay.
Higley High School, Aspire Volleyball, Mountain Point High School.
That's all places I've coached.
That is correct.
Wow.
Will Robinson
At Mountain
coach-
Point.
I did.
When?
Dude, I had to
When?
like really,
Did you do a boys year?
really deep dive on that.
yeah,
one.
you
I
did
have
a
a few
boys
more, but
year.
I'm going to save those for episode.
I remember
20.
that.
So what are we
I
gonna
helped
call
out,
that?
Right? No.
What?
No,
Who
that
was-
so that would have been with Brian Steiner. We were after Fred Man. That was a lot of fun.
1 year, right? Just
1 year. It was going to be for more, but then it was just one. Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then
you doing
Clay
it.
was
I guess
after
you
us.
and I didn't really know each other then.
It was like, hey, it was one of those
It was nice.
acquaintances.
Yeah.
Acquainted.
Connecting fours.
All right.
Oh, so you're going to keep it with just 4?
I like
mean,
it.
Because isn't connection is
It's
connections 4?
connecting.
Is
Well,
connections
I don't want to
4?
use connections if they're like, hey, that's our
You
team
stole
name.
our game.
We're doing a lot.
So anyway,
I like that.
thanks.
I enjoyed it.
That was good.
Related fours.
Oh.
Sure, yeah, related fours.
4 degrees of separation.
Love it.
Love it.
If you guys have a name,
Please leave a comment on it should be called because we're not doing a good job.
Help us. All right. Hey, you know what though? Great segue. Comments. We had some comments from our YouTube page. If you don't like listening to us, or you'd like to see how ugly Will and I are, you certainly can check out the YouTube. Preferably watch an episode with a guest like Anna and Presley and Katie. We've had some
Way more enjoyable.
very attractive young ladies join us that make the two of us trolls look a lot better. So
Yeah, Katie. looked good.
rawr.
Katie
This
looked.
episode.
I know my wife was awesome on that episode. So what do you got, Chris, comment-wise? Let's see what we got.
All right, so here's the oldest comment, I guess.
Okay.
From Rightly Divide on the feedback episode. I think you guys are debating on percentages during a match. How much technique, corrections, praising a player, and instructing on strategy. During matches, I would learn more on increasing a player's strategy knowledge and court awareness. Hard to get that in practice. Then praising and correcting techniques when needed. Thank you, Rightly Divide, for that comment.
Thank you.
I don't know who that is, but
I don't either, but they nailed it.
They're
Whoever
they,
it is.
they are they.
A they at this
feedback
point.
episode
They
is-
comment
that's a lot.
on quite a bit.
Nice.
Well, enough.
Our feedback episode was a good one.
I enjoyed it, and I think about it a lot.
That's good.
Sweet.
Are you
And then
getting better at
excellent.
giving feedback?
Are you?
I'm an excellent feedback giver.
I knew he was going to just go straight
Just
there.
straight there.
Here, I'll read one more.
Okay.
And save the rest of it for the next episode. But
Okay.
Again, from the feedback episode, from Elvin Herr. Will would love this. I agree with Will. I think matches are for players to put what they learn in practice into reality. If you do a good enough job giving them feedback during practice, they should be able to figure it out during matches. Let the players think and they will figure it out. Of course, give feedback, but I would say during timeouts or after the match. Minimize the amount of feedback between rallies and allow the players to figure it out. Trust what you want to do in practice as a coach and let the players play during a match.
Do we know Elvin?
I don't. No.
No? Okay.
Elvin's wrong, but that's okay.
That's fine.
That's all right.
Elvin,
Just
stay
like-
listening for me.
Just like I disagreed with Will, and it goes to my example. My
Do you know what we're talking about, Anna?
You're talking about feedback during a game
Yeah.
versus in practice.
Slight, like the
Basically.
idea of like overcoaching.
No.
And what is over?
Like in a match.
That's
Correct,
not
in a
the
match.
feed,
It's
we're
in-
talking about in-game feedback, and the disagreement was Will's like what Elvin just said is, I give very little in-game feedback. It's
Yeah.
this is your chance to show what you've learned in practice. My thing is, if you were sitting in a classroom,
Yeah.
taking a test, and the teacher was right there helping you as you went through, would you do better on the test?
Yeah.
Okay, so feedback
I
is
said the same thing.
feedback is absolutely essential during a match. However much or little you give, you need to give feedback during a match. You can't just stand there and hope that they figure it out.
I mean, I don't think it's realistic to say that any coach would ever just be silent on a bench the entire match. Do you know many coaches that do that?
Jason Watson is the first that comes to mind. I've seen that dude just chill on a bench. Russ Rose, but he's tracking. Like club
I
coaches,
guess.
no.
But still,
club
they're
coaches,
they're always talking during timeout. Just saying.
Technical versus
Tactical.
tactical.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
What would you, as a player, Anna, when you were on the court,
well, I feel like
did you prefer tactical or technical or both? Or just like, yeah, Anna, you can do it.
both. Oh, but I think when you coached me, you were the best because there were times where you would say, you know what you did wrong. And then there was times where I would be like, what did I just do? And then you would tell me. Like, there's sometimes as a player where, like, things happen so fast that you're like, you think you did the right thing.
Right.
You're like, the ball didn't hit you right or whatever
Right.
happened. And sometimes you look to your coach for that feedback. And
Yeah.
then there are times where I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Shut
know
up.
my platform
Yeah,
was
yeah,
late.
yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
know, there's
That was
times-
in our conversation with Ben Bray, and in that conversation about I don't even know what it was.
But
Well,
also to
Presley,
you, Will, like,
Presley was the same. I mean, she gave similar input like Anna did. I think
I think the player asked for 100%. You're
the
getting.
high level
but
players
also, like, you're
are
not going to
different.
sit there and watch a girl get aced 3 times in a row making the same mistake and not say something, right?
Yeah, and then I hope that we change passing after that. It's happened to Chris and I.
Yep.
All right, it's happened to everybody at some point,
You've
right?
been
Like,
aced 7
it's-
times in the third set before.
I'm sure if I go back and look at a match at some point, it's happened.
We
yeah,
did some
so.
unbelievable things.
All right, if you are listening or watching, go ahead and leave a comment about what we just talked about or anything else for that matter. We'd love to hear from you. We got a few more we'll leave for the next episode, Chris.
Yep.
All right, that's excellent. Show quote of the day today. If you're watching or listening real time, or you want to go back historically into
Real time.
real time once it's released. It's hard.
Those were
because-
air quotes. God, I forgot that you have to say those things. Yeah.
Anyways, Bill Walton passed away 2 days ago now.
think that's right,
Today
yeah.
is May 30th, 2024. So we lost the great Bill Walton a couple of days ago. I'm not one of those that's like, oh my gosh, somebody died, I'm super sad or whatever, like a celebrity. I don't know Bill. I enjoyed listening to Bill on the broadcast for basketball, especially the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Being a Pac-12 guy myself, but the Conference of Champions, that was a really horrible Bill Walton impersonation.
It could have been worse,
but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I didn't really go for it. So anyway, but Bill's great. And he has a quote. It says, "Never forget, happiness ends when selflessness begins." And I saw that the day he passed away. It was just on, I don't know, TikTok or something like that, Instagram. And I saw that quote. I'm like, that's just perfect Bill Walton. But at the same time, it struck with me. And we talked about what we wanted to discuss when Anna was on. And happiness and love are the things that come to mind when we talk about Anna Morse. And so I figured that was going to be a perfect little quote for us today and kind of jump us into Anna and her journey here with volleyball. Unfortunately, that's what we talk about on this show.
Unfortunately, pen to pen. How many times were you, what's your highest achievement, like personal achievement, accolade?
We don't want to start at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, she could answer that, and then we could go back
Let's
to
go
the
back.
beginning.
Yeah. So I like this.
It's like a movie.
We're going to go backwards here. We're Star Wars.
You can see her holding up her trophy.
What is your personal achievement? Not like you won something as a team. All-state.
I was never all-state, actually.
Rob.
I was one of those, yeah. No, it
Were you
would be,
ever
I was
All-American?
all-tournament at Nationals.
16's year, right?
16 open,
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's big.
It
That's a
was
really
huge,
that's a
yeah.
really cool accomplishment.
Yeah, that's probably your
and Brooke,
biggest, right?
And it was actually pretty cool because our team lost in the first round, and usually they don't pick two
Frickin'
people
Taff.
from they usually
Toff.
don't pick. Whoa,
That
why
was
did you say it like that?
That was 17's year.
Oh, no. Yeah.
We lost to
Oh,
TAB
it was
17's.
17.
16's year.
16's year.
No,
you-
it was, but we did lose to TAB 16.
Same thing, 2 years in a row. Son of a gun.
Wait, so which year did you get all tournament?
It was
17s because
with
I was
Brett.
there 16s with Annie. Yep, that's right. Because we were in
and
Minneapolis.
It was cool because we were fifth place team, and they usually don't pick two people from the team. So it was actually kind of cool because we always knew Brooke was going to get picked, but I did not expect that. It was really nice.
Was that a Donna Rollins on TAV?
Yes.
Yeah, no wonder.
And Asia O'Neal.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that tracks. That tracks.
We almost beat him.
You did?
We really almost
I
did.
enjoyed that game. I actually
we
got
were
up
so
early
close.
for
I
that
know.
game.
Well, actually, the crazy thing was the 16s year, McKenna was out, so we had Shannon, what was your last
Gray?
name? No, Shannon.
I know.
You guys are killing
Hamilton.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her last
we
name,
had
but now I
Shannon
do. Yeah, she was seven.
playing 6 rotations
And she was
against
not a
Adana.
six-rotation player.
Good luck.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that team sort of game plan meeting we had the night before in the hotel before we played TAV? We talked about it, just like exactly where we wanted to try to force them to go, and then we stayed deep on the slide, and I mean we had them lined up perfectly in what was like 15-12 in set 3.
Yeah,
I want to say we were the only team that took a
my
set from
dad
them the
has
whole
every
tournament.
score I've
I
ever
know he
played in
does.
my life. I can pull all of them up.
I wasn't mad when we lost. It wasn't one of those losses where you're like, dang, like that really sucks. It was one of those losses where like, holy crap, we just played really
Out of our
well.
mind.
The game plan was perfect.
It was.
And we should have won that one. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Looking back, I would have loved to have beaten TAV that. We screwed that tournament up because we lost to Idaho Crush.
Oh, yeah.
On day 3,
yeah.
and that bumped us from I think we were 6. It bumped us to 8.
And then we had to play.
And then we're on TAV's side.
Well, that was also the tournament where you had the fun stuff going on that court.
Well, so
the protest.
That was
Correct?
the match to get to gold against Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Was like the 3rd, 4th point of the match, and that girl went and she played a ball as she was running off the court, and it was like a 30-40 minute delay. And then the best part about that delay was, and I was like, guys, I don't care, just give them the point. We just want to play volleyball at this point.
Care.
I don't really care. The best part was that coach was so nasty about it, and then we waxed him after that.
Yeah, it was like they just gave us. That was the one thing about my
I blacked out.
club
I don't
team.
remember it. I remember like where we were, but I don't remember the
One
results.
of the best matches we played.
Yeah.
One of the best things about my club team was like you gave us anything to fire us up,
Oh,
and like we
yeah.
just ran.
Well, we
with
played.
it.
You guys were playing tag on the court.
We were like, we did not care.
No, and that was a cool vibe that team had. Is it was
Free.
They were
free.
very free. We
Very.
played free. We played fast. We played hard.
It's so hard to teach that.
It was pretty.
is.
It
It's
was
not even
pretty.
teaching. It's more so just like experience.
It was pretty organic, and the other part is they never really experienced that. The coaches that they had before that were very rigid, and they,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
had like strict.
So the
and
cool
then-
part was when I got there, they responded really well to the freedom.
It was
So
nice.
not all of my teams have done that, by the way, if you were wondering. So
the fun parts of coaching.
yeah.
Oh wow, this is not working.
they are different. Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun time. Your junior year was great. So let's go back to the beginning.
First time you touched a volleyball.
Yeah. Do you remember?
3rd grade.
Okay.
YMCA.
8 years old, 9 years old.
Or actually, technically, like first time I touched a volleyball was 3rd grade, Abby Meyer's house, and they were trying to put me on her YMCA team.
Got it.
They were trying to get me out of gymnastics.
Everybody's got a story like that.
Yeah.
And,
Random.
and so, plot twist, Brooke's on Abby's YMCA team.
There you go.
course.
And then it just came, everything was at Aspire, and
It's awesome. It's,
yeah.
It's cool
it
how
just
that happens.
It funneled, yeah.
Well, the crazy
to
part is
Aspire.
that you find each other, and then somehow you all developed into
Lainey too.
great players.
Yeah.
Lainey was on
There
that
was
team
one more
too.
too.
And we all-
Wasn't a Leo on that team or something weird too?
Well, the first like YMCA teams, like Darian and Gabby, were on like the same one with Abby and Brooke, I think, one year,
Yeah, it
and
was-
then
That was
but
saying
they
something like
yeah, we have
all
like
these-
pictures from little
Yeah.
all
Just
of
seen them on
us.
Facebook.
Like
Absolute
it's-
ballers.
Yeah, if you look at Julia's Facebook,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool.
there's some things. Down
And then were you ever
down that
on a
road.
twos team?
Oh yeah,
Who
There
was
you go,
the
people.
Who was the coach
I was on
that
Tuesday.
YMCA? Do you remember who the coach was? You don't?
Sad. I'm
And-
sorry, person.
Oh no, I do. Dee Mitchell, Isis Mitchell's mom, was my first YMCA
Isis.
coach. Isis Mitchell.
That's a
Do
name
you
I haven't heard in
remember
a
her?
long
That's
time.
the setter
Yeah.
from Corona, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
her mom was my first YMCA coach.
I remember when back when she played, I remember thinking Isis wasn't the greatest name choice, but it
Yeah.
happened before terrorism,
it
I
worked.
think.
Yeah, it-
So that part was always
That was out of pocket.
interesting. Well, I mean, you pick a name like Isis. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, I don't know what came
Anyways,
first.
so yeah.
My
All
kid's
right.
gonna
And
be
then I
Julie.
was on a twos team my first 2 years of 12s.
So it was just 12 twos, 12 twos, 12 ones.
Yes.
And
So you
then
just were
13
just
ones.
little.
I was little. I was 10 my first
Yeah.
year.
What position did you play?
I was the setter.
The setter. Do you?
I played full rotation too. I hit. It was a 6-2, and I
I
would
know.
hit front
I
row.
remember we talked about this.
It
Do
was
you
bad.
Do you regret not continuing as a setter?
No, I loved it. I think it actually helped me like as a libero because
100%.
my out of system setting was always pretty solid.
that's great.
But it's a lot of pressure. I'm like
Setting is exhausting.
I have memories of 12s, like, you know, we're trying to run tempo stuff with the middle with Beth, and like, I was like, oh no, I'm going to get blamed for every set. And I was not a fan.
It takes a different mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you get players like McKenna like, I don't care.
And then when they told me,
But that's the mindset.
but that's what I needed, and I
Shout out to
wasn't.
Kenna
Yeah.
Smith. That's the mindset.
That's what I needed, and I wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
Or you're the person that is just so alpha. Like there's just
True.
I don't think there's an in between. If you aren't in between, then good luck being a
Yeah.
setter.
My two oldest are alpha.
Yep.
I don't know where Lily stands in that. She kind of breaks the setter mold a little,
A little bit.
Beth too told my mom, like, she was like, Anna's gonna be too short, so you should think about switching her to back row.
And just figure it out quick.
And
Yeah.
that 12s to 13s year, then I switched.
It stinks to pin people early like that. You know, peg them early like that. Like, oh, sorry, you're little. You know.
It's tough, man.
But well,
It
so
does,
one
but
of your
when you look at my parents, like, they're not
Yeah.
over 6 foot, so it's
no,
like
it made perfect sense
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well for you. And then there,
Yeah.
like just one of your teammates from that era. Then there's a girl like Lauren Weintraub who,
played middle forever.
yeah, poor girl got stuck in the middle, and
Stuck, yeah.
she topped out at what 5'8", 9",
Right?
10 if she stretches.
Yeah, 5'10"
No?
if you give
She's
it
not
to her,
getting
but
the double
5'9"
digit.
probably. I
But-
would
Yeah,
say.
5'9" at the most. I
But
think.
great athlete. And
Oh,
if
yeah,
she had
phenomenal.
been pegged as a setter early on, her life might have been completely different.
That's
but
true.
eventually she phased out as a hitter in the front row, and she gravitated towards beach, and it worked out great. But like,
Yeah.
it's when you get these girls early, and you're just like, you're going to play this position. It's like, oh my gosh! Now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
what do you do when that
Well,
position doesn't
especially
work
it's hard
out?
for girls because we mature so early. Like
Correct.
some girls sprout when they're 12, and then like I was pretty much this height when I was 12.
Yeah.
I think I grew like 2 inches. I think I was 5'4" when I was 12. So like you know,
Well, and,
like
weird how
and
girls
it was
do
like
that.
actually
Brooke
a
was
good
one
thing
of those
that
like
Beth said that
steady
because
girls.
like
And Brooke was like a steady
She
grower.
just-
was late.
Laney, way late.
Late.
Laney
was
grew fast.
Giant.
She was a giant, really.
was giant. Yeah.
Yeah, Lainey was always tall.
Abby, steady.
Yeah.
Abby
true.
was a baby giraffe in ninth grade. She's on the wall in a Desert Vista picture somewhere. And
back in when she was on a freshman team.
Abby Hansen played freshman volleyball, and she would fall down when she'd hit. It was great. She needed
still
strength.
did that when we
Professional volleyball
Now
player.
she's a professional volleyball player.
Professional volleyball player. Falling
Tremendous.
down. I love it.
You just never know. You never know
know.
what the path is.
Yeah.
Did you love it? I mean, we're talking about love today. Did you love it from the beginning? I mean, was
Yeah,
it
I
something
mean,
that you
that's
just were
part
like,
of
this
why-
is me?
That's part of why, like, honestly, a bunch of my friends were on the ones when I was, like, starting, but I loved playing, and I was like, well, I want to be on the court, so I was okay with being on the twos, and...
Except when I offered you a spot on the 216s, you
I tried to take it. What are you talking about? But then you had to fight with Vanis, and you were like, never mind.
Nope.
Never mind.
that
I would
was,
have had a much less yelly year if I did the twos.
I tried at tryouts.
Yeah.
I was like, Anna, you're a freak. You can play whatever position you want on my team.
I said,
be on
can
the
I be
team.
a 6 rotation middle?
I was
That's
like, done.
literally what I said.
We'll do
Is
it.
it done?
He was
We'll
like,
figure
yeah.
something
Done.
out.
I don't
Funky.
care. Done.
We'll do
And
it.
I said, I'll hit twos all day in the middle, and it'll be awesome.
And you know what? Here's the thing about it, and I don't think you and I have ever talked about this. Like looking back on it, it was so much more about who you were as a volleyball player person than the actual player, right?
Volley.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you were gonna help. I mean, that team actually ended up being really good. We ended
twos,
up,
yeah, you qualified.
we won the
Yeah,
American
you guys
division
were
in
good, yeah.
Reno. There was a very good twos team. It was
Kayla.
Kayla Subert and Danielle Seaton in the middle, and it was great. But
Yeah.
it was more about just I knew at that time I needed somebody with that kind of energy and happiness and love
It's contagious.
for what's
man.
happening on the court. And in tryouts,
Yeah.
this is the crazy part. Tryouts, you could see it. How often do you see that in a girl in tryouts?
No, they're beside
They're like, oh my
themselves,
gosh, I don't know what to do. We're so worried about themselves,
Yeah.
so worried about what's happening in their
That's true.
world that it's really rare that you see it externalized. But there's Anna out there cheering on these girls she's competing against, helping them out.
Probably
You're doing
girls
great.
she's
like,
never met.
never
Oh, yeah,
met.
for
Probably
sure.
doesn't even know their names.
For
Random
sure.
girls.
Right?
Just
great.
I was like, oh my gosh,
I used to,
I need
like-
to be around that. I need
Yeah.
that on my team. And it was like, again, whatever position you want, because just the person needed to be.
Yeah, open
On the team.
to admit, I am not the most skilled volleyball player. Like,
Disagree.
oh no, I'm very good, but I had to work to be very good. Like, I spent a lot of hours.
You're saying
on-
it just didn't come.
It didn't. I wasn't a naturally
yeah.
skilled volleyball
But your
player.
intangibles were natural.
But my personality on the
Yep.
court, I've always had that, and I've always like had a deep belief for the people playing next to me. So much that like I want them to believe in themselves the way that I believe in them.
Yeah.
And like my only way to express that is like vocally and just
Yeah.
that's just who I am.
It's
But-
it's contagious and it's incredible to watch. The skill. The skill was always secondary to that to how you presented yourself on the court.
I had the mindset.
But you
always.
always played really hard, and that's a part that's I
True.
think underrated as
It's
well.
the
is
mindset too.
we get kids out there like you're a really good volleyball player, but you don't play very hard.
That's
and,
true.
And you disappear, and people don't see you on the court.
Yeah.
Whereas you get somebody who's not as good, but they play really hard, and their presence on the court is
Yeah.
incredible, and it shows. So, we fast forward then 16s we talked about 16, 17s, and then 18s was pretty sad for us, wasn't it?
But it wasn't. You want to talk about sad?
Okay. No, if
We're talking about love and happiness.
if we're being realistic.
We're talking about love and happiness right here, and this is, I think it all
You guys dominated.
we
That.
dominated. We were
did.
so
Killed it.
freaking good.
We
You
were
killed it.
so good, and
We won 3 qualifiers.
This
No,
is the
we
thing.
lost in Denver. We didn't win Denver. We got third.
we got third.
Right. But we won.
But our semi match was like more of a final than the final.
Yeah,
remember?
exactly.
It was like
I wasn't there. Don't look at me.
we played closer with the team
Yeah,
than the other team did
exactly.
in the finals. But
We dominated. We were the 3 seed going to
we were
nationals.
so good.
What happened?
Nashville.
Nashville, we stomped everybody.
then what was the-
Nashville, we beat the team who won 18.
We didn't even drop a set.
Yeah, but who? What else? Where? SoCal? No, that's where Nationals was.
Vegas. We went undefeated
Vegas.
in Vegas.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
it was Vegas, and then we lost.
Yeah.
We got third in Denver.
in Crossroads.
Yeah.
I
And
almost
then
wore
you
that
guys
shirt
were
too.
in your same time zone, correct? So there.
We were in Anaheim.
Yeah.
3 seed in Anaheim, ready to just
Yeah.
No injuries.
Well,
no.
we had
Oh, yeah.
injury season, and then
We-
everyone was like
Everyone was
coming back
sort of
right
healthy.
before nationals.
Right,
Like,
because Naya had something.
I had a
correct?
concussion.
Naya
Naya,
had a
had a foot thing. Crystal was
Crystal was the. I think
MIA for a
Crystal was
while.
the big loss, because in Nashville she was great.
She
And
was
then
really really good, and then she got
She got a concussion.
in.
She got it in Nashville.
Did she
At-
get it?
at the end- at the
oh,
end, she
that's
took a-
right.
Like warm ups,
She was
right?
out at
Warm-ups.
Triple Crown. She was out.
So
Like,
she missed.
She actually
some stuff.
wasn't out at Triple Crown. She showed up.
She
I
just
remember
didn't
that.
play.
showed
I
up
know.
late, but she
That was
wasn't
wild.
playing. She wasn't playing.
No, it was tough, and we had a match against Vision
Yeah.
to get to stay in the top half, and lost it like 15-13. And I
Yeah.
remember
That was it.
it was devastating in the
So that's 2 and 3 in pool play, then, right? Is that what you finished? Like
something like that.
Something like bad.
And I found a corner of the convention center in Anaheim, sat down, and it's just devastating. In 2 years with these girls, and we were good enough to win it, and we just couldn't quite figure it out. And it was the most fun I've ever had coaching volleyball, a 2-year stretch. Now since then, winning state championship with Garrett.
you also got to
and
coach your kids.
coach them on the kids, but
non-kids.
up to that point, it was the best 2 years coaching volleyball of my entire life, and it might still be when I look back on it. I mean, it was like everything I told you guys to do, you just did it. It was
Yeah.
incredible, and you did it at such a high level. And so when it was over, I just went over and I sat down, and then you guys found me.
Oh yeah, because I went over and I was
This
like,
story, I
guys,
hear it
Tolman
too
is
much.
blaming himself right now, and this is all of our fault, and we need to go hug. We were so dramatic too,
I believe
like
it.
All of us.
as
Even-
teenagers.
I believe it.
I
So
was
we all
too,
run
though.
over there. We're like tears streaming down our face, and we run over to Tolman, and we all like just group hugged on the floor and like just hugged. Like it was a solid like minute long hug of us all just
And-
crying.
And it was
And we're like saying we're sorry to him, and he's saying he's sorry to us, and we're all just so dramatic.
but our topic of the day, love.
it was
Yeah.
love.
That was
That's how you want to lose.
that was
That's
what that
why
team
I think
was.
that's why that's so important. Is if you lose with love,
Yeah.
it's better than if you lose with fear and
Sure.
hate and whatever.
Oh, 100%.
that team just. I mean, that's what it was. Everybody they loved playing,
We loved each other.
loved each other,
Still do.
loved
Still
the,
do.
loved the process. I felt loved instantly, and that a lot of that just came from you, to be honest with you. And I don't you don't know if you look back on that team and give yourself that much credit, but you deserved it. I mean, because there were some big personalities and big leaders on that team,
Big person.
and really solid and really good volleyball players.
Yeah.
But if I don't know that team functions at that
You brought
high
it
level,
all together.
level without you and your love for them and the game and the process and all that. So,
And Jim.
well,
Give him his
Jim,
props.
Anna's dad,
Jim is crying.
was
Right.
ready. He was ready
The
to
best.
go.
The best.
Yes.
He'll for sure
I
listen
don't
to
know.
this, right?
I think. Oh yeah, he will.
Okay, yeah.
I think like that team's formation, because we all knew each other at such a young age and we were so close, it was kind of like almost insane. Like 12's year, like 4 of us or 5 of us went to the same preschool. Like how often
That's
does that
crazy.
happen? You know, like that's unreal.
Preschool, that's crazy.
That's unreal. But then also, we built throughout, but we still had the same core group. And every person that got added in, like even if their role wasn't very significant, I feel like they still felt loved and a part of our team.
Instantly.
And like even like think about like Alexis and
We added girls every
Yep.
those 2 years in a row.
we had it was pretty much every year we had to add
Yeah.
someone in new, but yeah, I think
then
And
we
you
just-
guys
we
lived
just
close
had-
to each other.
We had a family
you guys were-
aspect.
yep,
We
all the
always hung
parents,
out.
yep.
All the parents hung out.
The funny part was that around the region, around Arizona, everybody thought we were mean.
Perception.
Did you know that?
No.
Perception was
Perception's hilarious.
We waxed everybody. So they're
really?
they're like, oh, those Aspire girls. And I don't know that it's necessarily you guys, but in general, everybody's like, oh, those Aspire girls. I'm like, you haven't been around them.
I think it's also hard though because we were so good. Like sometimes we were a little goofy.
Well, so Ryan Davis, who played at EVJ,
yeah,
and then she played at Perry. So I got to know Ryan really well, and she and I have coached at Perry together.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Ryan and I are very close,
Yeah.
and she and I have. I tried to get Ryan to come play with us.
Really?
I think we were, especially senior year.
I used to always try to get Gabby Leon.
I tried really hard, and I said, even in senior year, I said, Ryan, we are a Ryan Davis away from a national championship.
Facts.
Like, come and play with us, because you could put us over the top.
Yeah.
And she went round and round. She's like, I can't leave my friends, and of course, it goes down to love. I got to play again with Gabby, and and she and I have talked about it since then. And part of it was that she's like, I don't know if I can play with those Aspire girls. I'm like, no. Ryan, those Aspire girls are incredible. Like they're awesome, right? You'll love them, trust me. And
funny,
she couldn't pull the trigger, and and she and I've talked about it since then. She's like, I totally should have done it. Well, no. So
it's kind of crazy though.
And then after high school, you went off to college.
Went off to college.
Yeah, tell the people where you went.
I went to Villanova.
Why?
Wow. Good academic school. Far away. I wanted to try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to live on the East Coast. Well, it's in Philly, for those of you who don't know.
That is East.
That's fair.
It is. No, a lot of people think it's
They're like, where is Villanova?
And Vanderbilt confused too. Yeah. For some reason, in my experience. So yeah, but it was a good experience. It was
it was hard.
Experience.
It was hard, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
What was the hardest part? We make them talk about deep things here that they're not ready for.
I think the hardest part for me was I had a hard time adjusting to. How do I say this nicely?
You don't have to say it nicely.
I had a hard time adjusting to philosophies that I didn't necessarily agree with.
There you go.
Oh, dude, that's so common.
And I just really, I think, like, not even just volleyball, but, like, the school itself, too. I had, like, both. I had a lot of aspects that, you can't really see until you're actually in it. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I definitely think, like, I loved my coaches, and I, like, love them as people. No disrespect or anything, but just my philosophy as a player and, like, who I am as a player didn't fit the program.
And you won't know that until you're there most of the time,
weird,
right?
because I had conversations with your coach like when you were still in club, and I told him, I said, you've got a game changer on your hands. You've got someone who's going to come in and completely change the way your gym feels. And I don't think he ever gave you the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think now, like I said, like numbers wise, maybe I'm not the best passer, or maybe I'm not the most consistent, maybe. But I think like you said, like the intangibles is what makes me the player that I am. And I did get a lot of time as the DS, and like, I did have a lot of impact in the game. Like it wasn't like I just never played or anything, but to be in the jersey, I think is when I'm the most influential, because like I'm on the court the whole time. Mm-hmm. I think my defense was always a strong point for me, and throughout play, like rallies and stuff, I think like my ability to keep the ball alive helps my team win. But then also like my voice on the court, and I just didn't really get to experience that. In practice, everyone felt it. Like when I left Villanova, like everyone would text me and say like practices aren't the same. Yeah. Like when it came down to like my teammates, like a lot of my teammates preferred passing next to me or playing next to me, and even would tell my coach and stuff. But it's just hard. Like some coaches just are really about numbers or some things, or So.
Yeah, no, I always felt like you never got the real opportunity to impact it the way that I knew you could have.
Yeah.
And then you dealt with something that you've never dealt with, and that's some injuries.
Yeah.
Gnarly one.
I had a freak injury.
Yeah.
I had a weird thing called compartment syndrome in both of my calves, in 2 compartments on each leg. So
didn't know I had compartments in my legs.
Yeah. So your lower legs have 4, and 2 of mine were my muscle tissue was so big in them, it was cutting off my circulation. So they had to go in and open the fascia so it would regrow around my muscle. So basically, I was like
You were too strong.
Because when I would get upset,
That's why I don't have
when
this
I would
syndrome.
get upset about not
just
playing, I
lift.
would just go lift.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah,
And
I don't have this syndrome.
and then
because
like
I'm-
after a game,
Your compartment's right here.
I have extra compartments up high.
Chris like that one.
after
good
games,
one.
like if I wouldn't play or like if I wouldn't play libero, like I was like, okay, well I didn't, get as
Gotta-
much time, so
gotta
I'm
work
gonna
harder.
get a lift after, like whatever. And I was really really strong, and I didn't know
I didn't
what
even
really
know
what
that.
was going
Before
on.
that happened to you, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of it.
and then I looked when I was looking it up, which like you should never do that before you have to get surgeries.
Nope.
Just for the record. But when I was looking up, a lot of like Marines and like Army people would get it in their arms because you get so much like arm strength and
Push-ups and
biceps and
stuff,
things, and
yeah.
like their biceps would get it. It's like kind of more freaky. But my dad, like he's always bragging about how big his calves are.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been doing that since we were kids
DNA
in like
thing.
a competition. I think I already had like large muscular calves
Yeah.
to begin with, and then it just
Just shot up
expanded
from there.
too fast.
Do you regret anything from college or
Oh, yeah.
club
Yeah,
volleyball or
yeah.
anything?
Oh
like,
yeah.
I don't think.
Okay, club.
Club, no, yeah.
Absolutely not. I mean,
College,
honestly,
sure.
because even club, like, whenever it was competition or whatever, like, I was very encouraged. Like, I was like, bring it on. New people want to come, let them come. Like, whatever makes our team better. And I had that attitude in college. It just didn't translate at that school. But, I mean, like, hindsight, maybe I should have transferred.
The portal
or maybe
didn't
I should
exist.
have.
The portal didn't exist back then. Fun fact.
I mean, they had.
Near
you
the
could
end.
transfer. You could
transfer.
enter the
Transfer,
transfer
but
portal.
the
It wasn't
portal-
what the portal is
Yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah.
but there was still.
It just wasn't. It wasn't this.
I love
Yes.
the name portal.
portal.
I love it because literally it's like I've entered the portal and now I'm in another place. It's
I'm
incredible.
up there.
It's
I'm up there.
incredible. Like,
But I mean,
portal.
or maybe I would have gone somewhere else. Hindsight, but like you never know that. And I had an experience and I learned from it. It made me who I am today. It's the same.
Everyone's got a path.
Everyone.
Did you
has
ever
their
stop
journey.
loving it?
The sport.
No, and that was the hard part. When I got injured, that's what made me like want to leave. I was just like nothing was, bringing me the joy anymore. I was like I didn't want to be there.
So, what finally brought you joy? What brought the love back?
I think
The
I know where-
segue.
Yeah, this is the segue. Here we go.
How did you
I
find
know.
the love again?
Coaching.
Coaching. There it is. You're good at it.
And your first coaching gig, which
First
what was
coaching
it?
gig. Aspire 13 Venom. Or was
Oh,
that what it was?
that-
Or
yeah.
it was called
13.
Vision.
Vision.
She coached a bunch of little,
Vision.
like 11.
And they weren't
No, I
even
know 'em.
13.
I know a lot of
He-
them.
he
Yeah.
coaches them now.
Dean, Micah, Breck. I
They
know
were
all
I
of
said,
little.
y'all
them.
need privates. Go
They're
to Will.
so small. That's super
Will
funny.
coaches
And
all
a
of them
lot of
now.
them still
They're
play.
awesome.
I think
I loved
basically
those kids.
all of them
are
still
playing.
play.
I loved those
Yeah.
kids.
You and
I did.
McKenna
You
were
and
very
McKenna
good.
Smith.
We were awesome. We were a
Hilarious.
great duo.
I went to almost every one of their practices. I was just like, I gotta see what they're doing here.
Yeah, he would just like walk around. He'd come in. He'd just start like telling some kid their elbows dropping
Oh,
and stuff.
jeez,
And I'd be
wow.
like, okay. But they liked him and they thought I was mean.
What else
and-
was I gonna do? Go home and watch Netflix, dude? Come on.
No, you're good. Great job. Way to help out.
Thank you. Yeah, since
Yeah,
when
no.
working for free is like frowned
No, it
upon.
was
But
awesome, I'm
was
saying.
Stepping on
this guy.
toes.
No, I wasn't stepping. I wasn't stepping.
You know how Will is though. It's just he just will. He'll
Unfortunately, I
silently
do.
enter, and then all of a sudden he's just
all of a
like,
sudden he's coaching. You're like,
involved.
how did he get here?
I
Where
was
did
like,
he come
hey, you're here.
My favorite memory of that team is when he had the parents play with the kids.
Oh, yeah, that was
I
so-
still
okay.
have film of that. It was
So
absolutely
this is something
hilarious.
actually we did. I think Ashton had me and Presley's YMCA team do it with our parents.
It was so funny.
My dad used to love the parent play game. That
Oh, I
was a
know. He was
thing.
all about it.
Back in the day when I was starting, that was a thing. Like the parents would come and play the kids.
Yeah.
We used to beat them. Now that wasn't really the case with these kids, but it was so awesome.
It was so funny. The parents were like running into each other. It was
Dude,
like,
they
oh,
were
man,
going
we're gonna have a
harder than I thought
disaster
they were
here.
going to, and I was like,
Did they
oh,
sign a
snap.
liability?
No, sorry.
Yeah, just walking in. A virtual portal.
It was a portal. And yeah, but that was awesome. They loved it, and it was a good experience for them, and they stuck with it.
And then the year after was your first year with Karen, correct? Or no,
Like
not
that-
even year after, just
next
that
club
year.
season.
That club
Yeah.
season, because it was
Just
boys
girls.
into
Yeah.
girls.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that
so I
was-
was Karen with the 15s.
15s, which
What,
was MK's group, right?
MK,
Yep,
Anna.
okay. Yep.
What do you think
Shout out to Anna.
what do you think your philosophy as a coach is? Like, what are you trying to bring? Anna Morse steps on as a coach to a team. Like, what are you focusing on?
I try to bring energy a lot. I'm a very I'm a cheerleader, but also just I want them to feel how I feel when I play. I don't know if that's weird to say, but
Not at all.
I've noticed you were talking about in my club years, we played so hard for each other, and so my goal is to get them to play as hard for each other, not necessarily for me, but for the girls next to them. I really think I preach do this for the person next to you and stuff like that, and I everything I'm okay, together, team, stuff like that. It's just kind of those are for me what's important. And I think when you have, like you said, the girls who love each other and a love for the sport and things like that, it translates well. Last year, our team, we were getting them to just play hard. I don't know necessarily that team was, I think it was an open level team, but we definitely played above our means at a lot of points because we played so hard. And even just region, we beat Storm to knock them out
That's
of going to the finals. So we, of the region. So that was really cool. But we played so high energy and so much, and that's what that picture was from, that.
Right.
Yeah, that was us all. Just,
Now you all know why we picked Anna for the subject of love, or why we picked the subject of love when we had Anna on. It's intoxicating when you're around it in that volleyball setting. I coached a couple of years ago. I was coaching Lily's 15-2s team. Do you remember coming to a couple of those practices?
I do.
And,
Yeah.
she doesn't know. My daughter Lily's the only girl on that team she knows. And by the end, they're begging me to have Anna come back. Can she come practice with us again? And I asked them, I said, why do you guys want? And they're like, there's something different, right? She talks, and we're excited to be out there. And it completely raised the level of play in those practices you were there, just simply because of your energy and your love for the game and for the girls, and that you didn't even know. And that was always something super special that I took from it. Moments like that are why I coach.
Yeah.
Because I get to see the real person. When you take time to get to know the real person, I get to see that. And for me, that's the most special part. I look at the faces on the walls behind us here, and good volleyball players, cool kids, but the people that I get to know is what I love about it. And I think that you're very similar in that regard, and the people matter to you.
Yeah.
People should always matter.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's what it.
It really is.
I think that's when you start playing hard for each other and coaching hard, and
I think it gets lost on some people, not on me, and certainly not on Anna. And I've watched Will and Chris be very good at this as well. We coach people, not volleyball. And a lot of people are like, I'm a volleyball coach. Okay, cool. You don't coach the ball; you coach the people.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
To play the sport.
True.
And I've said
oh wow, put that on a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
that's
Oh wow.
Do you have that copyrighted? Patent that right now.
And that's been my philosophy since the beginning. And part of that's because when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to coach the people, had to focus on the people. And, and some have asked me, would you coach basketball again? Or would you coach college? Or would you do this? And for me, it doesn't matter. Sure, whatever. I don't care what. Are
people involved?
Am I getting an opportunity to help change and mold young people and move them in the right direction? That's what right. Badminton, sign me up, right? Chess, whatever it is, esports. I don't care. I could coach anything. but the people are the ones that matter, right?
Have you seen the Anthony Edwards interview where he's like, I'm going to win no matter what it is?
Oh,
Chess,
yeah, absolutely.
Esports. Like, he's doing stuff like that. That's what you sound like.
He's gonna
I'm
win at
coach
it.
This
I'm just
no
gonna
matter what.
coach it.
Like, is there people?
in.
I'm in.
I'm going to win. No matter what it is. Baseball.
But Anthony
soccer.
Edwards, I see a lot of love in Anthony Edwards.
Oh
love
my
for what he
God,
does.
I
love
love
for
him
his
as a
teammates.
player. I'm
Yeah.
like, he is awesome. And honestly, there were times too, like, you got to be a spunky, like, you know,
yeah, bring it. Yeah.
bring it. And I try to get that too, because I think my team, maybe that's why people thought we were mean, but we carried a lot of confidence.
Oh yeah,
You have to.
We
You have to.
Yeah, but we were an undersized
I
team
tried
for a
s-
long time.
I tried so
And then
hard.
you
to-
were-
We just
and then you all of a sudden
confident. We were
tried-
confident when we were short, so we were extra confident when we
And
were
then you
tall.
get Abby and Crystal, and you know.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to get you guys to talk trash, and you just wouldn't do
I know
it.
we were nice people.
Remember when I was
but we
pushing Abby
would.
around and she's like, "What's going on?" And
but
then now when I
it
watch her
helps
play
us.
PVF,
Yeah.
she does it.
Yeah.
So it's,
That
I
was
love
like
that stuff.
that's what I try to do now when I play with my girls. Like I go and push
Yeah.
like or I talk smack like
Yeah.
Campbell tries to dump on me and I'm like that's not gonna work. Like and I just always am telling.
You wouldn't do
I'm
it.
like come on Campbell. Like you know and I say stuff like
well,
that.
no one would
but-
ever talk to Brooke. Like no one would. Like
Brooke doesn't
no.
hear it. Brooke doesn't hear it.
And then when you like,
Well,
dude, she was so fun to mess with when she
dude,
was younger. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, she was.
She got to the point where she didn't hear it. She
Well,
wouldn't.
we had-
Her body language.
We had a
was-
lot of experiences, but one of our consistent things was we had guy coaches that we would play
100%.
against at practice, and it made us like a little mentally tough, but also like that was what kind of made us start talking. Smack
Yeah.
was like
Andrew McCall
you
used to
know,
bring it, and he would talk
Will-
trash for
Will-
sure.
I would
Will would be
serve
hitting
Brooke
on
off
us.
the court. No,
Will
I
would be
swear,
hitting at
I
us,
could
and we'd
still
be
do it. I think
okay,
too.
it's a girl's net, Will. You know, like we would start. That's when we started like getting a little feisty.
chippy.
Yeah, but
It gives you an edge. It gives you an edge.
You
I
know-
do have so much love, like getting to play with my girls again, like and getting to play in practices and stuff. And I do like that because I do think I get to showcase some of that, like intangibles, and especially with liberos,
where
I'm
it's at.
always telling them, I'm like, you have to talk, you have to talk, you have to talk, and I always give this like my stories, you know, like I got told I was too quiet, and I never shut up.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you
Still
know,
don't.
Still
And
don't.
that's okay.
That's
That's,
the one-
okay. That's how we want
That's
it.
the best part.
Don't.
One of my favorite memories from that team was how you guys used to get so mad when you would have to play on the
In the dark.
dark
Dark
side,
too.
On the dark side,
the upside
upside down, yeah.
Upside down.
'Cause that was during the time of Stranger Things. No one would ever win
Upside
on that
down.
side.
No one.
You used to get so mad.
That's still folklore, by the way.
The
Like I
upside
still
down.
talk about it, like to everyone.
It's still a thing in the gym.
It was
No
so
one
like
ever
you
funny.
fixed
don't
that
win-
lighting?
No,
That
it's
like
still
it's
the
not
same.
meant to be fixed.
It's still the same. And I used to just I never understood it. I'm like, what do you mean? And it's like, no, we don't want to be in the upside down. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, good luck.
and
Good luck.
The upside up didn't have any service room, but
Nope.
they still
But
wanted
still
that
win.
side.
Because we didn't
Super
need it.
funny.
That wasn't the point.
Yeah. It was I mean there was a lot to love about that time for sure. So well, Anna, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being here. That was fun to
Long
reminisce a
overdue.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Hopefully
Have me back. Maybe I can get
wanna
some
come-
other
you wanna
like,
come back?
some other girls.
Well,
I don't know.
there's
Yeah,
one
pretty
that
ex-
needs to come.
we're pretty
Yeah, I can
exclusive.
I can maybe do that.
Yeah.
You know?
We're pretty exclusive.
I know you
gotta
guys
be,
are.
You
I'm
got to be
saying if you
special to
need-
get on our show.
AKA, have you worn blue? Have you been in the Aspire gym? That's like that's
You want to limit
so
it?
far, that's the
that's so far what it.
No, we might
that's
branch
not
out.
true.
Don't say that.
That's not true because Jesus.
Jesus he didn't play in our gym, but he's coached in our
True.
gym.
Gym.
he
Yeah,
was
I
our-
guess that is that. Yeah.
Well, Chris apparently just got us hooked up with some fancy doohickey that's going to help us Zoom some people someday. So
Oh, so maybe we don't need someone in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. They
Well,
don't
they'll
have to
be in here
but just not
virtually in a portal.
They'll be in. There we go again.
Amir Lugo is going to be my first.
That's who
for
you
sure.
want?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm third round pick. I get it. You
Yeah.
know, I just bought everything and I'm third round pick, but it's cool.
You sure? Okay.
Sure. Anyways,
Thanks,
Well,
Will.
Thanks for joining us. If you are watching us, hopefully you got to see some of the energy from this beautiful young lady here to my right. If you listened, I guarantee you could feel it. You know, the love and happiness that surrounds her and everything that she does. So follow us on social media at Pin to Pin on Instagram.
yeah.
Click like and subscribe. Find us on Spotify, Google, What else?
Everybody love everybody.
Apple.
Love everyone.
Yeah.
Should have played that clip.
All love out there.
Love everyone.
Don't forget to love each other.
ELE.
Don't forget to love. Don't forget to love what you're doing. I think too many
Yep.
people just do things to do it.
And then they get robotic.
When you
Hopefully,
love what you do, you never work a day in your
that's
life.
right.
Oh, man.
That's what Tolman
Hope-
always used to say.
Hopefully, that's something that everybody can find
Coach
out
does.
there.
Yeah.
So, again, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank
Peace.
you.